If I can ask the panelists to take their seats, I'm going to introduce them all at the same time, and then Simon will do his presentation, and then we'll hear from them. First off, I'll introduce Simon Rosenberg, founder and president of NDN. Obviously, NDN, Simon's history has been closely affiliated with the Democratic Party, but before he did that, he was also involved in television production and news. And he has a cameo on what's a war room, which is always interesting to look for. But the reality is, for the last few years, Simon has taken on this as one of the major issues in politics, and it has also helped redefine what NDN does. Seated to Simon's left is Janet Murguia, who clearly has been a national Latino leader, but a leader of excellence, served in various capacities in the Clinton administration as well as in higher education. And when the leadership of NCLR began looking for a transition person to lead NCL into the new century, there was probably no other name that came out as strong and that had the credibility and record of Janet Murguia. And she took on this very difficult challenge to institutionalize one of the great institutions of the Hispanic movement in America, and clearly sits in the center and the fore, and yet has been a leader on all these debates and provided the basic information which allows us to take not only a moral position but a correct position in terms of American politics and what needs to be done to better the lives of all Americans, and in particular Hispanics. And finally, Frank Sherry, who spent almost 20 years working on immigration-related issues, clearly a leader in this field. Frank has had the difficult task of trying to keep a coalition together on what has become a very difficult debate. But throughout it, Frank's leadership, which has served as bipartisan, bringing both sides together at a place where we can begin a very serious discussion. And clearly, the comprehensive immigration bill that we saw, while it took a lot of negotiating and a lot of movement in the end, was a product that I think met the basic needs that Frank had set out when he began this process with the entire immigration community, and brought rarely have bills faced the United States Congress that had such a diverse group of backers, from the Chamber of Commerce to the Catholic Church to unions, all stood in unison trying to pass something that was essential for America and America's future. So we also thank Frank for joining. With that, I want to introduce Simon Rosenberg.